There are far too many women, there are far too many relationships that I come into contact with where a partner tries to tell their mate about a sexual desire, fantasy, or fetish that they have, and their mate shuts them down. Shuts them down. They don't want to hear it. Shut up. I'm not doing that. You better suppress that. And this is actually something that creates a disconnect between our mates and I, between our mates and us, when they can't really open up about what it is that really truly turns them on. And we end up creating this rift from that behavior that was displayed yesterday. And what we end up doing is we end up having a bunch of people just telling us what we want to hear, going through the motions. One woman went so far as to write on my post that her husband, she and her daughter walked in on her husband in the bed with another woman in their home. In their home. Now, if that's not disrespect, I don't know what is. And anybody who knows and watches my videos knows that I do not condone disrespecting other people or enduring disrespect ourselves. I did a 2-part series last month where we talked about the ways to avoid abuse. You know, I'm not about abuse. One of the things that I'm saying that we have to do, ladies, is we really have to take all of this ego and all of this other stuff, all of our stuff and our baggage. Listen, I am a woman, okay? I am a woman. And when I talk to you, I talk to you from that space of womanhood. I'm not going to speak to you the way these men come out here and speak to you, where you can sit down in the audience and manipulate their content, because men are deathly afraid of disappointing women. There's something biologically programmed in them that they cannot deal with the ire of a woman. Go ahead, bring it to me. But like I said, be sure to not say anything on the internet that you wouldn't say to Aigyal Fierce. Listen to what it is that I'm saying. Make sure that you can say it to my face. I'm not here to sugarcoat and pussyfoot and pander to you. I'm here to help you get to the next level of understanding. Part of the extreme issue that we have is that we have two ends of the coins. Listen, the male brain and the female brain are different. Hormonally, we are different. Biologically, we are different. We have different programming. We have different driving forces. We have different modes of evolutionary success. We do. And so we have one side of the table that's like, why do you need a person with money? Why do you this? And we have another side of the table that's like, you know what? It's just ingrained in me. However, then when it comes to the other side, you're like, well, why are you tempted by other women? Why this? Why that? That's not love. When maybe you haven't really set up a definition of what love is with your mate. There are men who express love differently than what it is that you may be interpreting as love. For him, love may be holding down the house, making sure that you have everything that you need, making sure that the lights and the water and the refrigerator is stocked. Those are things that are important. And as a woman, a hypergamous woman or hypergamous woman, those are things that are important to you too. And evolutionary and biologically, you're also predisposed to loathe cheating. You're predisposed to loathe another woman catching your man's attention, because that's bad business for you and your offspring, because it diverts resources, it diverts his attention. This is part of the reason that it's women who police the bodies and the dress codes of other women. They don't want women to be too sexy. Oh, you slut, you whore. Look at you. Why don't you cover up? Look at that slut over there and her big old titties. Look at her with that big titties. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get serious again. So it's women who are mainly in charge of policing the sexuality of other women, because we know that that's bad business for our own relationship. So we impose that on our sisters because of the insecurities that we have inside. Biologically speaking, we are predisposed to loathe. But one thing, some of you were talking about choice. You never heard me say that men don't have choice. And much like men have choice, like we are human beings who have logic, willpower, reasoning, and deduction, just like we say that men have those abilities, we as women have those abilities too. To use logic, willpower, reasoning, and deduction. We do. So you have the choice of whether or not you're going to sit there in the comments and not listen. I talked for 20 minutes. And if you choose not to listen and choose to put it in through your filter and regurgitate out some stuff that I didn't say, that is your choice. But it makes me wonder what's going on in your personal relationships. That instead of asking, there was one young lady, I wish I had her name in front of me. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but there was one young lady who actually asked me follow-up questions. And I can respect that. But don't put words in my mouth. I really want to do you want to learn? I really want to have a conversation with you to be able to really impart some wisdom and some knowledge to you, to say the stuff that men may not be able to say to you. I'm going to give a shout out to my boy in the comments, Boston Turk, I believe, or Baltimore Turk. B Turk in the comments, who talked about fetishes. And how if your man tells you a fetish and you know that this is a fetish that you are unwilling to participate in, that spells trouble behind the scenes for your relationship. And back to that woman who said that her husband was in the bed with another woman. Listen, he didn't have to He didn't have to bring her home. Let's do the arbitrals on that. Why did he bring that woman into your bed? There's some people, it's like they talk, men are notorious for this. They call it nagging. Oh, a woman is nagging. And they just tune her out. They don't want to hear it. And then when the relationship is over, he's distraught. He's like, I don't know what happened, right? Whereas on the flip side, a man will test the waters. He'll say something very sublimely. And if you start shutting it down without even really fully hearing him out, he doesn't bring it up again. Like I said, men are deathly afraid of the ire of women. And so there are men out there. Listen, I talk to men who are bisexual, men who are hebosexual, men who, not homosexual, a hebosexual is somebody who's attracted to the early budding ages of teenageism, like 16, right? There are men out there who have a lot of different fetishes and fantasies. And don't get me wrong, there are some fetishes and fantasies that they don't want to have with a person that they respect. However, if your man starts speaking about his fetish, listen, I want to do a whole entire video. About what goes through the mind of a man when he cheats. However, you have to be able to be willing to listen. Like I said, listen, you know what? Call me names if you want to. I know what my goal is. And my goal is to be able to assist in the relationships between men and women, or actually the relationship that you have with yourself. And that alters the relationship that you have with other men and other women when you start working on that relationship inside here. So listen, I'm going to get out of this video. And I want your comments below. I was really surprised and disappointed by the way that some of you all came out on that video, not really listening. Another thing I was disappointed by was the lack of male presence on that video. On the video where I told you all not to speak, oh, you guys couldn't stop yapping. But on the video that's open for everyone to talk, so I'm hoping that I can have a conversation with both men and women in this video. But ladies, listen. We have got to get out of this. We've got to get out of this realm where we attempt to manipulate people with our emotions and our anger and our name calling and all that other stuff. Listen, like I said, I am not these men out here. I'm not them, and I'm not afraid. Bring it. Bring it. you get blocked. Let me get out of here. Tonya TKO, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.